Market mood check with me, Nandita Khemka. Well, if you look at the market right now, triple-digit gains coming in. The Nifty is cruising around that 19,450 mark. If you look at this week, since Monday we have been on an upward trajectory, and of course today we have tomorrow rather we have the monthly FNO expiry. So we'll have to watch out for whether the momentum continues or not, or whether some more volatility kicks in. But this week so far it has been a good run, and the Nifty is up somewhere around almost 100 points, trading around that 19,450 mark as we speak. The Sensex also cruising above that 65,400 mark. And if you look at the broader end of the markets, the mid-cap index has hit a fresh record high. In fact, the small cap index is also shining bright. Last time I checked, it was up somewhere around 0.7% or thereabouts. Individually, all of the sectors are trading in the green, led by the metals pack that was shining bright in yesterday's session as well. So, extending its gaining streak. You also have the IT and auto pack. These are the leaders, when it comes to sectoral gainers. On the Nifty, you have the likes of Tata Steel, Axis Bank, Hindalco, Tech Mahindra on the gaining side. On the flip side, you have BPCL, Pwer Grid, Dr. Reddy's, Apollo Hospitals not doing all that well. But, talking about OMCs, they are not doing all that well in today's session, given the fact that the government sources suggest that the government will not be subsidizing them for the 200 rupee cut in LPG prices. They will only be subsidizing the OMCs on the price cut announced under the Ujjwala scheme. So that's something that's weighing in on some of these OMCs. So BPCL top Nifty loser, HPCL not doing all that well, and IOC also under selling pressure. In fact, the government has said that it is a little difficult to estimate the cost of a price cut at this stage, and the government will be assessing the situation as per the offtake as well as international prices. The market will also be watching out for some any cut in petrol and diesel prices, as it's an election year, and that's something that the market will turn its focus on next. But brokerages believe that it may happen in the form of an excise cut or so. So that's something that, of course, the street will be watching out for. But aside of that, mid-cap index, as I mentioned, at a fresh record high, lots of movers once again in the mid and small cap end of the market. So let's talk about some of the block deals that have taken place first. Zomato, after days after Tiger Global exited stake in the food aggregator, we hear that SoftBank has in fact sold somewhere around 1.1% stake in Zomato, and 1.1% equity stake worth 940 crore rupees or thereabouts has changed hands on the exchanges today, and that block deal took place at 94.7 rupees per share. So that's one stock gaining somewhere around 4% in today's session. In fact, HSBC also came out with a positive report on Zomato. In fact, it has a buy rating, the target price of 120 rupees versus the 102 rupees target price that they had earlier. In fact, they also believe that the hyper local end of the business will be much stronger for Zomato in the long run. Aside of that, there was a large block deal in Spandana Spurti as well. 5.5% stake has changed hands on the bourses, and promoters have sold stake. Suzlon, that stock also at an 8-year high. There's a block deal in that counter as well. 1% equity worth 232 crore rupees changed hands on the bourses. In fact, the Jubilant Food also saw a block deal. You had 0.15% equity change hands worth 10 crore rupees or thereabouts. Some order wins. RK Forgings bags 74 crore rupee order from a European OEM, original equipment manufacturer in South Africa, and that stock is doing well. Shakti Pumps, this stock is up somewhere on 14% or thereabouts. It has won a large 350 crore rupee order from the Haryana government, so that's reflecting in the stock price right now. SBFC Finance, recently listed stock. It has in fact come out with its first quarter numbers. Profits have surged over 46% on a YOY basis. Stock was up somewhere around 4% or thereabouts. Let's take a look at some of the Nifty 500 gainers and losers. Then on the Nifty 500, on the gaining front, you have the likes of Uflex, Sun Pharma Advanced Research, you have Polyplex, Cochin Shipyard, BSC, all these stocks doing extremely well. In fact, Indian Hotels has hit a fresh 52-week high. That stock is up 5.5% or thereabouts. On the losing end, you have Brightcom, continues to lose in trade. BEML, this stock was up somewhere around 13% yesterday. Today it's come under profit booking. Interglobe, Piramal Enterprises as well was down in yesterday's session, extending losses today. Well, it's been raining IPOs on the Lal Street. So today we have a new IPO opening as well. Rishabh Instruments. This IPO has kicked off. The IPO is priced somewhere around 418 rupees to 441 rupees per share. Well, a lot of cues to digest when it comes to the economic data front. We have the Q1 GDP figures coming out tomorrow, and employment report coming out in the US as well. So that will be watched out for. The monthly jobs report will be coming out tomorrow in the US. So the markets will be looking for clues as to what the Fed does, and the personal consumption expenditure as well. That report will also be coming out tomorrow. So that will give investors some clue about what the Fed will be doing in its September meeting. However, the street is factoring in a pause by the Fed, at least in the September meeting, and then another hike in the November meeting. So we'll have to see what kind of data comes out of US, because the US Fed chairperson had said that any decision will be data dependent going forward. So that's one thing. And domestically, of course, first quarter GDP numbers will be watched out for. They'll be released tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. and consensus estimates are somewhere around 7.8%. Which is higher than the RBI estimate as well. So we'll be watching out for that. And in the second half of the session, of course, we'll be watching out for whether or not the momentum that we are witnessing on the Lal Street continues or not. And of course, we will be back with you, getting you all the market action post market close at 3:30 p.m. So don't forget to tune in. And we'll also be sharing some stocks that will be on our radar this afternoon. So tune in at 3:30 p.m. and catch all the action on closing bell. But for now, it's a goodbye from me. Thanks a lot for watching. For all your other news and updates, stay tuned to Money Control.